Welcome to this evening's webinar on the college resume. My name is Eileen Wilkinson, and I'm an educational counselor here at Prep Matters.
And my name is Leah Adams. I work here at Prep Matters with Eileen. We're pleased that everyone could attend the webinar this evening. We would like it if you could please chat your questions as we're going along, and we'll be sure to answer them all at the close of the presentation.
There are many significant reasons to develop a resume even when you're in high school. As you're going through those years, it's a good tool to see what you've accomplished and where you could use a little more depth. That's what we mean by brainstorm your activities and achievements. Later on, you can add it to a college application to elaborate on extracurricular activities. The Common Application has an additional information section that often will be the place where you put your resume. It's a good idea to bring your resume to a college interview as well, so that a counselor can see a streamlined account of your activities.
Making a resume as a freshman or a sophomore is especially useful. I think it helps students to see what a college will see when they read an application. That way you can plan for all 4 years of high school. Perhaps a resume's most useful role is to help you plan your whole high school career and see where you may have holes in a resume, or you might need to diversify your resume, as the case may be. Resumes are especially useful, again, for you to see what you have accomplished. It also will help you see where perhaps in the future you could be seeking a leadership role. I often encourage students to ask themselves a couple questions when thinking about their extracurricular activities. The first is, what role are you taking on in each activity? It's important to become the action hero in your activities. This is what colleges are looking for when they talk about initiative amongst their applicants. Also, it's good to ask yourself how actively you're participating in each activity. What is your depth of interest? How many hours per week and weeks per year are you giving these activities? It's really important for colleges to understand sort of different aspects of the individual activity in order for them to see how much it means to you.
Regarding the purposes of a resume, first, it allows you to expand upon the activities section of an application. Usually there's a line on college applications to include a short description about your role in an activity. However, often it is helpful to include more information or an explanation. For instance, if you had an internship at a local think tank, your role might have included several significant experiences that you would like to elaborate upon. Or if you were a research assistant at NIH and you were a co-author for a published article, that's certainly worth noting. Most importantly, it allows you to highlight any honors and awards you've received in high school.
A typical high school sophomore will often be able to identify his or her interests, but may have trouble parsing out all the activities that are a part of a particular interest. For example, a student who's heavily interested in drama, as referenced here on the slide, may have multiple activities, quote unquote, such as performing in school musicals, working at a summer theater camp, or being a stagehand at a local professional theater, as well as mentoring younger actors in the drama club at school. I think the take-home here is that for parents looking to encourage a student, or students themselves who are beginning to brainstorm their activities, remember that you often have more activities than you think you do. I can't tell you guys how often I have a student come into my office and say, well, there's really nothing that I'm doing outside of school. And I say, of course there is. You've just got to think about it in the right way.
Many private and some state colleges use the Common Application, and if you're not already familiar with it, no doubt you will be. The activities section of the Common Application allows you to list 7 extracurricular activities that you were involved in during the academic year and in the summer. For many of you, I know this won't be nearly enough space to include everything you've done. And as Leah said, usually you were involved in more activities than you originally think you are. In this case, the resume allows you to include additional activities and to group them in a way that makes sense.
Here we've included some examples of schools that don't take the Common Application, the way that their activities sections look. Here we have the University of Michigan, which, as you can see, is is different in some ways from the Common App, but it's generally the same idea. We've also included here a screenshot of the University of Maryland application where it's extremely different from the Common App in that they simply ask students to attach a list of activities, a CV, or a resume, which is of course what we're talking about tonight.
Now, it may seem like we're encouraging everyone to explore the thespian within them with our multiple theater examples, but this grouping could work for sports or musical activities, something in which you have a lot of activities spanning the years. Take a look at this for some basic examples of how to group and highlight your related experiences.